Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Seven Nights, Part 2. Today I just kind of wanted to go over my early game impressions. At the time of this recording, I've completed all of the story mode on easy that's currently available, and I've not quite done with normal mode yet. I've still got a ways to go. I got a lot of grinding to do, but I figured this would be a good time to give people an expectation for those wondering if it's worth getting into this. Uh, am I going? Is it going to be an easy thing? Am I going to have to put a lot of work into it, a lot of money? So I figured this might be a good way to give everyone just some early impressions. So, as far as, oh, and by the way, I'm also going to be doing this little grind while I'm recording because why not? Might as well get your grind on while you wait. So, as far as the story is concerned, I actually enjoy the story. I've played the original Seven Nights, so I'm already familiar with the characters and the background and everything. So, this for me is just a continuation of the story. I'm also a big fan of the Seven Nights lore in general. I did watch the anime. I haven't actually played the Switch game that they have for Seven Nights, so I don't know if there's any connection there or not. But either way, you know, I'm very, very into the hype. So there's a reason that I'm definitely personally invested in this. But from what I've seen in the story so far, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's good. You know what I mean? It's good enough. I'm all right with it. And I'm looking forward to what else they do going forward when they expand on the story. One thing I do want to talk about is easy mode because this is something that might turn a few people off, and I just need to talk about it. So, first off, easy mode is not so easy. I'm going to be honest. Especially in the early parts where you're limited on how much you can actually boost things up because you can't necessarily equip your or enhance your equipment until a certain part. And there's many other things that can help boost your account that you don't get right away. So some of the early parts of the game can be difficult, and it's to the point to where like you can't just casually stroll through the easy mode. You do have to put in a little bit of work because there are a lot of walls that you'll hit where you may have to do some other stuff before you can complete the story. So if you're just casually playing for the story, just understand that you will have to put in a little bit of work. And I'm not talking about spending money. You don't have to financially invest in the game to beat the story. I don't want to give you guys the wrong idea. What I'm saying is basically, I would highly recommend, doing as many raids as you can. Specifically, do the field exploration, which is actually what I'm doing right now. This is a great way to get good equipment or ways to get equipment that you can either sa- salvage so you can get crystals that'll help, you know, boost the strength of the weapons you currently have. Basically, those are going to be the things that's going to really help you get to the story is just good equipment, boosting your equipment, and of course, if you've been lucky enough on the gacha to get some good units, I mean, that'll help as well. But yeah, it's not going to be a cakewalk, so it's not just play through the story. You do need to do a little bit of grinding. You do need to put in a little bit of effort, just letting you guys know. But no, this isn't like something where you have to spend money in order to get through. It's nothing that bad, but it is more challenging than you would expect from what will be considered easy mode. So I kind of wanted to give you some expectations there that it is a little difficult for easy mode. It feels more like normal mode, to be perfectly honest. What most games would be as normal, that's basically this game's easy mode, which can turn people off. But again, I'm already invested in this franchise, so I have no issue with it personally. But I'm sure I'm not the only person who had a few humps on their way to completing easy mode. Now, once you access a lot of the extra things you can do, as far as like, uh, the raids, the Celestial Tower, and then, of course, all the ways that you can increase the parties, increase your account's power, it will get easier for you. You know what I mean? So it's not so bad once you get later on. It'll still be challenging, but it won't be to the point to where you'll hit too many walls later on. Just know that the early game can be a little bit rough until you get access to everything you can in the game. Outside of that, easy mode does provide, like I said, some really good cutscenes. Like if you're into the story, you actually get verbals, so you actually see it being played out visually, which is nice. I'd rather be able to hear the voice acting and see what's going on rather than having to read everything. So I absolutely love it. And of course, I think the voice acting is really good too. So, I mean, I think it's worth playing through it if you really want to check out the story and actually listen and hear what's and see what's going on. I think that's really, really cool that they did there. You can tell that the creators of this game put in some effort into making a good sequel to an already decent game to begin with. So, I'm happy that that happened. And once I get done with this fight, I'll also let you guys watch me get my butt kicked in arena, and I'll go ahead and explain some more stuff that you might want to know. Now, this is the. Oh, there we go. Looks like we're done. Okay, cool. So let me go ahead and get rid of this. So I got a okay equipment. It's nothing really to brag about. We'll go ahead and exit for now. Uh, there are two different ways that I do field. It's the one where you can use your 30 maps, or you can use three of your enhanced maps. So, I think that you can do either one. So, this is what I was doing right here. That requires, a different type of map. And then, of course, you have these regular ones here that require the 30 of the regular maps. And I forgot what these other maps are called, but they're basically like just more enhanced maps that'll get you better items, more XP, stuff like that. All right, so we're gonna watch myself get my butt kicked in the competitive arena here. Nothing special. I'm just using three of the seven knights and Karen, which are all decent units. Basically, Karen is the healer. We have Rudy as the tank, and then you have Eileen and Spike as I would say CC, crowd control. I don't really have anyone that I would consider a true DPS on here, which is probably the weakness of this team. Yes, Eileen and Spike can do damage, but they're mainly, as far as I can tell, mainly crowd control. So if I had people like Shade or Ming Ming or something like that, I would be probably, or Cassette, I'd be doing a lot better as far as damage. But this is more of just a control team. But I'm just doing this to have something in the background while you listen to me talk. So let's see myself lose while I do some more talking. So, other than the difficulty, story was good, voice acting's good, music is good. So, like I said, I'm happy with everything that I'm actually seeing as I play the game. Now, once you complete the game, or the easy mode story, there's still stuff to do. I mean, obviously, you'll be able to tell that you're going to need to boost up your units. There are a lot of things you can do in this game, lots of raids, lots of little dungeons that you can do to get, lots of materials to help your team grow. Also, be sure to join a guild. It's an easy way to get easy resources, especially if everybody's participating. I'm happy to say that the guild I created is now full, so I'm really happy to see that. So we'll see, how everybody does going forward. Overall, this is still a good game. I actually really enjoy it. It's one of those games that it feels like it's worth investing in because one, you're interested in the story. Two, you have a lot of stuff to do. You can tell that the creators actually care about what they're doing in the game. It's just so many good things. Uh, Again, you don't really need to spend money in the game to be successful. If you're a free to play person, you'll be able to get through the content. It's just going to be, you just have to do a little bit of grinding, but you don't need to rush. And there's no reason to try to be like the top player or anything like that. Just enjoy it at your own pace, and you should be doing well. Which, by the way, I'm surprised to see that I'm actually winning for the moment. So that's a good thing. I'll take it. But what else was I going to go ahead and talk about? So, joining a guild, definitely important to just get free resources. One thing that I do have to complain about, and it's one of those, it's just an annoying thing. It's not really going to make or break the game, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that's been kind of annoyed by this. Every time that I accomplish something, I'm always having an ad pop up in my face. Like, for example, whenever I go up a rank in Arena, I always get this, hey, now you're gold rank, so you can go ahead and spend money on this little package. Oh, but look, you actually just pulled a legendary. Here, spend $90 and all this other stuff to go with that legendary you pulled. So it's a bit annoying, I'm not going to lie. Every time that you complete a mission, it feels like there's, them trying to sell you something. Like, it's too much, in my opinion. I'm not against spending money if you want to support the game, or if you just don't have time to play a lot, but you want to be able to have, good characters and stuff. That's fine. I'm not against that. What I'm against is just constantly being spammed with ads when you already, well, not really ads, but you basically popping up, hey, buy this when I already know there's a shop where I could look at everything I want to buy. I don't need you throwing everything in my face every time I accomplish something. So it's more of an annoyance than anything else. I just had to get that off my chest. It's just annoying. It doesn't make or break the game in general. It's just, it's just yucky. That's all it is. Uh, what else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, so the cool thing that they do in one of the raids is you can have like the 4-player raids or the 8-party raids. I like the fact that you can actually have 8-player raids either by yourself or with others. If you have an account that you have a lot of units that you like and you want to be able to actually utilize them as if you were playing like a major MMO, it gives you an opportunity to kind of experience that, which is really nice. And then in the 8-player mode, like the boss has like these phases where you'll see a little cinematic where I guess he moves around or he's doing whatever, and then you see your party and then you just go back and start hitting him some more until he dies. I think they did a pretty cool thing with that. I just think it looks nice. It's pretty cool. And also it's easy to find people to play with. Oftentimes I get invited to join like a random raid, so I'll join and we'll get it done and we'll get some rewards. And you can get tickets for these raids, so you have your one freebie every day, and then you have to use tickets if you want to, do more. The game is pretty generous in terms of giving you tickets you need. As a matter of fact, the exploration that I was doing at the beginning of the video, that's one of a few places that you can actually get these tickets. And again, I'm not buying anything. This is just me playing the game and I'm getting them. Which, by the way, I'm pretty lucky I'm getting these wins here. I'll be real with you. When I'm doing like the normal arena in Crystal, I'm getting my butt kicked. I just happen to be getting matched up with people that I could actually do well against, so I'm pleasantly surprised. But this isn't what normally happens when I'm in an arena. I usually get my butt kicked, just to let you guys know. By the way, I actually like the whole rock music thing they got going on in these arena battles. It's actually pretty cool and it gets you kind of pumped up. Like I said, the devs have always done a good job with the music in these games in general, so I'm not surprised that the music's kind of cool and sets the tone and everything. But yeah, I mean that's basically what the early game is going to be for you. It's going to be a little bit of a grind, which is what you should expect from an RPG. Needing to grind. Uh, it's a cool experience, especially if you're familiar with this IP. I think that you'll be happy, and this is definitely something that I will be playing long term. And as I said in my demo video, this is going to be my main game now. Uh, you know, I kind of been waiting for this game for a while anyway, and now that it's here, like, yeah, this is definitely my investment. And not just because I'm a fan of Seven Nights in general, just because it's just something different right now, and it's just something that, it's just cool for me to have for the moment. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying this game as well. If there's anything else for early game that I didn't go over that, you might want to bring it up in the comments, I'm definitely open to hear what you have to say. As far as if you think that maybe it is harder than I make it sound, or more if you think maybe it's too easy, but maybe there's just something that I'm not, thinking about, definitely let me know. You know what I mean? I'd rather us be able to help each other learn the game. And I'm gonna stop here while I'm ahead before I actually should be losing. But that's more or less how I feel about the early game. I think it's just a lot of just taking the time to grind, just to kind of show you where you can grind. I was talking about the field exploration was the first thing you saw, where you could basically use maps to redo certain areas and just gain some experience. The dungeons are where you can go to get various, rewards. So here you're gonna get your gold, and then let me go over here. You're gonna get your soul stones, and it actually says the name of it on each one. You have your elixirs, your runes, and your experience. So you have that. The raids also. This is the 4 and the 8-player stuff. So you have the 4-player, which will give you access to get better equipment and better items to go with it. So, or crafting materials, that's what I was talking about. Crafting materials, because crafting is very important. Also, you can auto, or not auto, but you can do like a clear if you've already beat a certain tier. You can, if you've gotten an S rank on it, you can just hit like a clear button and you can just have it automatically done without you having to go through it. And of course, these are like the four party things you can do. Uh, the 8 player raid, this is the one that you can do currently. I'm pretty sure there will be more in the future. So that's pretty cool to have. And then, of course, you have the party dungeon where you can actually play with other players through various dungeons. And of course, this is the one where if you want to have a bunch of people join, you can do that here. As a matter of fact, have I done this already? Yeah, I already did mine. Okay, I'm not going to show it off. I don't want to spend any resources yet because I haven't decided what I wanted to do. So, how do you make your characters better for those struggling? Basically, level up your characters. You can potentially transcend if you have enough. I think it's soul stones. If you have enough soul stones, you can basically level them up beyond 30. Also, you can go to your inventory and equip them with decent gear if you can. Also, level them up. I always try to do a minimum of +5 on some of the more rare things, so I would definitely recommend doing that. And then you could also do skills, very important. Every time you do, like every 5 levels, you can level up their skills. That's going to be very important to get you through the tower or through everything. Potential also boosts, stats of your characters. Highly recommend doing that. And then divinity, which basically powers up your account in general. So this is going to be very important too. I typically just do mine on auto, but if you have a specific method that you think is better in general that you should focus on, I'll be happy to know about it. Also, mastery. Now, I haven't spent any rubies to try to get ahead. All I've done is I just keep whatever I get when I get, level to each 5 levels. But if you want to get further ahead, you can spend rubies to go further. So if it would cost me 900 if I wanted to open up one before I'm at the appropriate level. To be perfectly honest, I don't think it's necessary. I think that since you're going to be able to get it for free eventually, why waste your resources? So that's just my opinion on it. But like I said, if you could tell me why it might be better, that's fine too. Crafting is also very important. Definitely look at what you can make. I like I said, if you're not for what I do here is I always get rid of my common stuff for the enhanced stuff because the enhanced materials is what I use to boost up my characters. You could also use damaged leather as a way to craft items that can be used to craft weapons and armor. So that's going to be very useful for you too. And I'm not going to push for getting the legendary enhancement stone, but it's probably a good idea if you have legendary equipment. I have, I think, 2 or 3 now, but I haven't like spent anything to get them. This is more just what I've been able to randomly pull off of the free tickets. Legendary equipment are obviously going to be the best, but this is the items that you'll need right here in order to make that legendary item better. Another thing, as far as equipment is concerned, if you're having problems, is take a look at and I'm trying to find something that I've actually done this with. I haven't actually done it with this person because I'm just kind of randomly equipping here. But there are certain equipment, I'll just look at it here, where it says set effects. If you get at least, 2 up to 5, you can get certain boosts to certain abilities. Like here, it's critical. There's also skill cooldown. There's also, more HP. So whatever you're looking for, read these set effects. And if you can, try to collect, a set of 5 for whatever you want your unit to specialize in. And that'll definitely help you go a long way. So I highly recommend doing some of that. And that's more or less it for as far as early game stuff. You know, Actually, there's one more thing. I'm sorry. There's the where did it go? Is it the? It might be the little thing right here. Ah, yes. So as you get your team stronger, and this will basically be able to tell you pretty much where you're at overall. And what you look at is not impressive. There are a lot of people out there that are a lot better than I am. This is just me playing, a bit casually. But you will eventually get, some decent equipment. You will eventually get Rachel as you continue to play along. So she's going to be a very good DPS unit. But if you haven't already got her, uh, definitely worth playing and eventually to get her. You'll eventually get some legendary stones. You'll get some legendary equipment. You'll also get Shane as well as a legendary character. She's also a really good DPSer. So now there is a rare version of Shane that you could use now. That'll be okay in the early game. But as far as like, anything beyond early, this is going to be what you're going to be hoping for as you build your account up. But that's going to be more late game stuff. But for early game stuff, I mean, just know that you are going to be getting some units for free. Some of the lower tier units, some of the tickets that you can get for doing certain dungeons, some summon tickets. So there are things that you can get just by leveling up your account. And the other thing too that I should probably bring up is even if your character is max level, what you might also want to keep in mind is that everybody has a potential. So let's see if it'll let me look at it from here. Proficiency, that's what it's called, proficiency. So right now, my Rudy has a proficiency of 1, which basically gives him a boost to, I think for him it's his, here it is, where his defense goes up. So as you play with the character, and this, from what I understand, this isn't just about every game mode. As you use a character, you can develop proficiency points. And once you max out that certain level, you'll get some soul stones for the unit, and you'll get a boost to certain stats depending on what character you're using. And that will also help power up your account as well. And also, do not ignore your I'm not gonna say lower, but don't completely ignore other units that you might not use too much in the future. Because believe it or not, the more that you level even these other characters, the more power your account gets, which means you'll be able to eventually get characters like Rachel and Shane for free earlier. So definitely give everyone as much attention as possible. Even not necessarily through the main story, but you can go to the field zone where you can kind of grind and level some of these other characters up. You also have items that basically can up their level. So if there's characters that you're not currently using too much, you can still, get them up on the side just to power up your account in general. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for now. I just kind of wanted to give some early impressions. Again, this is a really good game. Definitely going to be my main game for now. Everything else will just be a cool side game. But hopefully this is, giving you an idea of what to expect as you play the game. And hopefully you've gotten a couple of tips that might help you out if you're struggling. Oh yeah, and then again, don't forget to join your guild. Joining a guild is also really good. Thankfully, we have a full amount of people. This is the stuff that you can do to get some guild coins, just checking in, playing arena, all that other stuff. So as long as everyone participates to a degree, you're good to go to get some more freebies. All right, so yeah, now I'm for sure going to be it. So until next time, be kind and grind. Later.